Hello, everybody. It's the day after my fourth prolotherapy treatment, and I want to say I had no idea that there was so much wrong with me. Saw Dr. Fullerton, and he spent, I think, 3, maybe 4 hours, probing around with the ultrasound wand, um, just looking at things and trying to find everything and trying to treat everything. Um, This time, well, it was funny. While he's probing around, he's like, I should really take these clips and then put them in the presentation, blah, blah, whatever date. And he's done this every single time with me. And then finally, this time I asked, I was like, hey, doc, why do you want to use it for presentation? Is there something special about my injury? Is there, what is it? And he said that it was because of my musculature, that the damage shows up much more clearly on the ultrasound screen than with his typical patients. So that was a nice little ego stroke. Um, but yeah, apparently he's like doing a case study. He could probably do a case study on me because it seems like everything in my back is damaged or has been damaged. Um, so what did he find? He found some damage to the lateral part of the QL, which is like right around here. Probably, I think that's a track mark. I'm not sure. He also found some damage where the serratus, I think, merges or meets up with the lat. That one's a little hard to gesture to, but it's like around here. So that one really felt like that was like a spot. I was like, yeah, this is important. Um, I also mentioned that like doing a plank or a downward dog, constant pressure hurts my shoulder. It's a dull pain, but it is pain. And he was like, huh. I was like, maybe it's the torn labrum, which he hasn't addressed yet, which was the whole reason why I went to see him. And he was like, oh, who told you you had a torn labrum? I was like, oh, I don't know, the PA from Duke Medical back in North Carolina. And he kind of, it's like, oh, okay. And so he checked it with the ultrasound, and he said he found some debris, and he found a pit in the shoulder capsule, and that's probably was the torn labrum. So after 9 months, he's actually addressing the torn labrum, which is the whole reason why I came to him. Obviously, if he only addressed the torn labrum, everything else would still be damaged, and I'd probably still be in 90% of the pain. But it's nice that it's finally being treated. Um, he also took a look at my right hip for the first time, and he found, well, I can't really show it, but he found some damage on the upper part of the quad. So it was the quad. It wasn't really the groin or anything else like that. And it was really cool. He had me lay down, and this is before anything happened. But he had me lay down, put up my knee, and then he pushed against it, and I tried to resist it, and I really couldn't. And then he gave me, I think, just a numbing injection, or yeah, just a numbing injection, and then he tried it again, and he actually wore himself out trying to trying to push my knee down. So that was a pretty cool, before and after test, and see what's the real damage. Really excited to see how this will change how I do squats. I'm be interested to see how I change, sprinting and stuff like that. Super interested in it. So yeah, he gave with all of these areas that he treated. When he treated them, the body, felt like I was going through a grand mal seizure in just like one little part of my body. Uh, with prolotherapy, at least the way Dr. Fullerton does it, the more the body responds to the injection by twitching, it seems to signify more damage and more that the treatment is more necessary. So everything that he addressed today wasn't just like, or yesterday, it wasn't like fluff. It was stuff that really needed to be addressed, especially my leg. When my leg went out, when he injected my leg, it whole body was like freaking out, and he actually looked over at the assistant and was like, "Oh my god!" It was intense, but I'm glad it's being treated because obviously it needs it. Um, so, I guess how am I doing right now is another thing that I should mention. I'm not on painkillers. I took painkillers the day of just because it is very rough, but I'm not on painkillers now. Can't really do too much with my left arm. Don't really want to do a lot, especially with that, like how he addressed the back of it. I held, I was holding the leash, my dog's leash, with my left hand, and kind of had to pull a little, and I felt something around there in my back. It was like a real sharp stabbing pain. It was very brief. It was just like on and off for a second, but so it felt like an adhesion tearing, which is actually a good thing. But in this context, I don't really know what happened, and I'm a little freaked out. And I was then start to worry that, oh no, I've undone all the healing that is supposed to happen. So I don't think that's the case. It just makes me very cautious to use my arm. What else? My leg pain is okay. I can walk around. Don't really feel like going upstairs or downstairs, but I can. Prefer to use the elevator right now. Standing is not that. I can't stand for too long. I'm probably enjoying sitting and lying down a lot today. I might end up taking a Tylenol 3 with codeine, but right now I don't feel like I need it. The part that was addressed back here, it feels like there's a water bottle kind of shoved underneath my scapula, so it's uncomfortable, but it's not painful. So that's how I'm doing, like pain-wise and stuff. I'm kind of mentally a little frustrated. I just want this to be over with. I don't want to take another month off, especially since I'm doing so. I'm just now starting to get back to seeing some real strength. And concerning the sprinting group that I've joined, I really made a big breakthrough technique-wise in my sprinting or my running technique. And I don't I don't want to lose that. So I guess if you want to see what I could do while still in the middle of receiving prolotherapy treatments, I'm going to provide a link here, and you could see what I was capable of while still undergoing treatments with prolotherapy, because that's the one thing that I like about prolotherapy over versus surgery is that besides surgery doesn't really seem to be effective with what I'm dealing with. I like the fact that it's a month off, but you can go back to doing stuff that you used to do with only a month off, and that's a really short downtime. What else would I like to talk about? I'm really hoping that this is the last time that he has to address my back. It might be the last time he has to address my hip. I mean, it certainly seemed to be bullseye. Maybe he has to go back in for a second treatment, maybe not. I didn't schedule another treatment, so I'm feeling good about that. I'm thinking that maybe now is the time to start seeing some type of soft tissue treatment. I know that I typically, like standing, This shoulder is typically a little lower, and this pelvis is usually a little higher. I'm kind of like this. That's an over-exaggeration, but that's my posture due to all the injuries and stuff. And I used to see a rolfer, and it was real temporary because you can't fix structural damage with rolfing. But now that the damage is being repaired, hopefully, soft tissue would be a much more effective treatment. So, had some great people up in Chicago, but now that I'm in Dallas, have to go find some new people. So that is a plan. I will update and with milestones in terms of strength and in terms of things I used to not be able to do or never been able to do. Now that I can start to do it. Yeah, this will probably be my last post for a while. If you have any comments, any questions, or anything, please let me know. This is kind of my thing. I like helping people out because a lot of people think surgery is the only option for pretty much anything, and it's really not. And I think for me, prolotherapy has proven to be an extremely effective technique, and I think it would have been more effective than had I gone a surgery route. So, this is Adam, signing off.